So Donald Trump predictably has destroyed the minimum wage policy that Biden put in place for federal contractors. These are guys that are working blue collar jobs. The 15 an hour minimum was put in place by Biden, and Trump just destroyed it. And we know blue collar people usually vote for who? Donald Trump, for the Republican Party. It's like watching lambs to the slaughter, except they're smiling as they go to the slaughter. Look at this crap. Republican leaders understand that the GOP has earned a reputation for championing the interests of the wealthy, but they occasionally make the case that the party has changed. Around this time 4 years ago, for example, then House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy declared, "The uniqueness of this party today is we're the workers' party." Lie. Around the same time, Republican Senator Ted Cruz, who fled his home state during a snowstorm, wrote online, "The Republican Party is not the party of the country club. It's the party of the hardworking blue-collar men and women." You know what? Sometimes I wonder if conservatives should even vote. Because, I look at situations like this where I'm like, how can a man abandon you? You are in a snowstorm. The man abandons you, tries to go to Cancun with his daughter. It's one thing to send your daughters and your wife to Cancun and you not go. It looks kind of bad, but if you stay, I can kind of respect it. A man wants his family to be okay. He sends them off, whatever. Cool. I get it. But it goes to show the elitism of the Republican Party. Like, the Democratic Party has this elitism of like, don't say that. And the Democratic Party doesn't really like hang around blue collar people. They don't really hang around in these communities, but they for damn sure do a good job of taking care of them. Biden put policy in place to take care of this demographic, despite the fact that the Democratic Party does a horrible job of being buddy-buddy visually, with the blue-collar men and women of this country, with the working class, despite the fact that the Democratic Party does a horrible job of visually appealing in vibes toward this demographic. When it comes to policy, the Democratic Party is always there. The Republican Party always finds ways to shaft and rob these people, and they continue to vote for them. It begs the question at a certain point in time, when are we going to acknowledge that conservatives vote like literal cattle? They vote like cattle. They vote like serfs. They vote like serfs and servants on a field. Seriously, they want kings and dukes and lords and barons. That's what they want. They don't want to have power. They don't want to actually tell the ruling class what to do. They want to be ruled is what they want. They want to be ruled. They want to be commanded over. They want to be ruled. How can a man abandon you in a snowstorm and you vote him back? Democrats would never let that slide. Ever. And yet, Ted Cruz can abandon his people, leave them in a snowstorm, and he is still a fucking senator. Conservatives, you are not serious voters. You deserve to be laughed at. You deserve to be mocked. You are fools of the highest degree. It's difficult to say with confidence whether GOP leaders ever believed their own rhetoric when it came to workers' interests. Of course they don't. But Donald Trump continues to take steps that leave little doubt that the contemporary Republican Party is most certainly not the workers' party. It never has been, by the way. Conservatives in America have never cared about the average American. Conservatives back when FDR instituted the New Deal tried their best to obstruct him. Conservatives fucking hate the common man. They firmly believe they the rich, they the powerful, are divinely ordained to rule. These are like the fucking royalists in the Revolutionary War. These people they desperately want someone to rule them. That's why they call Donald Trump daddy. You call a 70-something-year-old fat ass who couldn't even fight in a war daddy? MAGA, you need the blood of Jesus. You need God. What did Kanye say to that producer who was late? This nigga said, find God. Come back when you found God. President Donald Trump scrapped Biden-era executive orders that raised the minimum wage for federal contractors to $15 and drove federal infrastructure investments toward companies that agreed to union neutrality. In addition to union neutrality, the now canceled Executive Order 14126 favored companies that offer equitable compensation practices and participated in registered apprenticeships. So, unions, dead. Apprenticeships, dead. Equitable compensation practices, dead because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump. And conservatives are never going to acknowledge they fucked up. They're never going to sit there and hold Donald Trump accountable. As I've said, if Donald Trump shat in a Trump supporter's bowl of cereal, they'd sit there and say, well, I can always pour a new one. I guess I can pour a new one. They're not going to sit there and say, nigga, get your fat ass. They're never going to sit there. They're going to sit there and just take it. They will sit there and take. Donald Trump can destroy the ability for blue collar workers to pay their bills. And you can rest assured, and you can always trust that blue collar workers will vote for Donald Trump to ruin their lives yet again. It's unfortunate. American voters continue to vote on vibes. I vote on the vibes. They love the vibes. No matter how many times the vibes fuck them over, they just love the vibes. Grown-ass adults, by the way, in love and enamored with vibes. A man destroys your ability to pay for your children's food, to put clothes on their backs, and you just sit there and you love it. A man destroys equitable compensation practices, union neutrality, and you applaud him? Conservative voters, you want to be ruled. You want someone to be your king. You don't want to be able to decide what happens in this country. You don't believe power belongs to the people. You believe power belongs to Ted fat ass fucking Cruz, who abandoned you in a snowstorm. You believe power belongs to a 70-something-year-old fat ass who dodged a draft, who only knows one song, who dances like he's got sugar in his tank. You want that man to be your king. And you, for some reason, are in love and enamored with a South African billionaire, dork, who pays other people to play video games for him. You want him to be your king. You want him to be your king. You people are fucking retarded. Conservatives need to do the gentlemanly thing and just stop voting. Just acknowledge you fucked up, call it a day, and just stop voting for about 20 years. Stop. You don't know what you're doing. You're a joke. You're an embarrassment to every Republican, Democratic Republic, Republican Democrat, whatever you want to call it. You are an embarrassment to people power all throughout human history. American conservatives are spoiled brats who are only going to learn until they touch the hot stove. That is the only way conservatives will learn. The stove could be hot. There could be fire coming from it. And you can say, don't touch that. Conservatives will smile, thinking they're going to own the libs, and slam their hand right down on the blazing hot stove. These are the kinds of people you're dealing with. Total fools who will then sit there and say, why didn't Biden stop me from putting my hand on the stove? These are the people you're dealing with. I hate these people, in case you couldn't tell. I don't know if the yelling was communicating that enough, or if maybe I need to do slam the computer, throw the microphone at the camera, jump at the camera like on my show speed. I don't know what I need to do to compel you to understand I hate these people, but hopefully the screaming and the yelling has communicated that reality enough. Nigga, fuck MAGA. MAGA is a movement of serfs. These people are a movement of fools. It's like they just love to be ruled. Marjorie was right. We need a national divorce. Give Trump a circle of territory in Ohio to be king forever. If you separated conservatives and liberals into two halves of the country, conservatives would be jumping over, and we need to build a wall. Liberals, we need to build a wall. We have to build one, a great, beautiful wall. To keep the illegals out, we got to keep them out. We got to keep them out. We would need to build a big, and it's going to be beautiful and big. Very beautiful. Many people are saying. We got to build a big and beautiful wall to keep the fucking conservatives out. I'm sorry, if your senator abandons you during a snowstorm and you still vote for him, you are weird. Get away from me. You're weird. Don't come near me. I might catch the stupid virus. Stay back, okay? Like, stay like 7,000 feet away from me. Don't get too close. We shouldn't be in the same country. You need to go away. You need to go away. You need to be on the other side of the country. I can guarantee you if liberals and conservatives separated, two halves of the nation, conservatives would be jumping over the border. They would be launching themselves over the border. They'd be dropping out of planes like SEAL Team 6 over the border. They'd be trying to dig under the wall. All type of shit. They'd be begging to come out. We want healthcare. No. Absolutely not. No. Stay your little ass over there. Black MAGA, white MAGA, brown MAGA, yellow MAGA, all of you stay the fuck over there. Do not cross this wall. You need to stay over there. They would be begging to come back to sanity, to adult leadership, to common fucking sense. They'd be begging to come back. But the reality is conservatives will not learn their lesson because they never do. This is why they rewrite the Holocaust. This is why they rewrite slavery. This is why they rewrite Jim Crow. This is why conservatives rewrite every crime they commit, because they know reality is their enemy. Accountability is their enemy. Saying we were wrong would compel people to realize, well, if you're always wrong on every social issue ever, why would we ever vote for you? They know they can't admit. They must always deny. I'm sick and tired of saying white supremacist. I'm sick and tired of saying Nazi. It is the conservative movement. The conservative ideology is an ideology of regression, ignorance, stupidity, and mayhem. Facts.